February 8, 2021 meeting of the Union County Zoning Board of Adjustment is now in session. I am Rick Davis, Chairman of the Union County Zoning Board of Adjustment. Also sitting on today's board are Mark Tilley to my left, Bill McWhirter to my right, Mr. Jim King is the Zone Administrator. Thank you. Mr. Jim King is the Zoning Administrator and the Senior Planner. Ms. Amy Griffin is the Clerk to the Zoning Board of Adjustment. And Mr. Derek Thurman is the Attorney for the Zoning Board of Adjustment. The hearing of three types: application for a variance from the regulations in the zoning ordinance, or appeal from a decision or interpretation of the zoning administrator, or an applicant for a special use permit. The order of each case will be as follows. All parties who plan to give testimony, pro or con, must complete the green form to speak and be sworn in. A zoning staff member will explain why a permit was denied, or why a variance is requested, or the nature of the special use permit application. The board may question the zoning staff member. The applicant may question the zoning staff member, and then the applicant presents his testimony for the case. The board may question the applicant. The zoning staff member and persons in opposition may question the applicant. The applicant may present sworn witnesses. They will be subject to cross-examination. Other parties wishing to speak, pro or con, will be given reasonable time to present sworn testimony. They will be subject to cross-examination. The zoning staff member and the applicant will be given an opportunity for rebuttal. After hearing a case, the board will review the case and render a decision. This is usually done following the close of the public hearing and the board's deliberation. However, the board may elect to take up to 30 days to render a decision. You may remain present during the deliberations, or you may call the zoning staff member after the session to receive the decision of the board. All exhibits must remain with the board. Please hand them first to the clerk for tagging, and if your case is not appealed to Superior Court after 30 days, you may pick them up or they will be destroyed. If you feel there's a conflict of interest of any member of the board or an association that would prejudice your case, please let it be known at the start of your case. We are a quasi-judicial board and can accept only sworn testimony. No hearsay evidence is admissible. Appeal from this board is to the Union County Superior Court. You have 30 days from the date of the board's written decision in which to appeal in accordance with the NCGS 160A 388E. And please remember, we ask everyone to turn their cell phones off. They turn mine off. Okay. So we've gone through that. First, we're going to have a determination of a quorum. We have 3 members, which does determine a quorum. We need approval for the December 14th, 2020 Board of Adjustment meetings. Do I hear a motion?
Make the motion.
No? You second? Okay. All right, that has passed. Okay, going into the public hearing. Determination of any conflicts of interest for case 2021 VAR-01, item B. Does anyone have a conflict with it? Okay. The variance, the applicants Jack and Deborah Giblin are requesting a variance to section 5.030 lot and building regulations of the Union County Development Ordinances. The applicant is seeking a relief of 5 feet from the required 15 feet side setback in order to construct an addition to their house located at 6900 Live Oaks Lane, more specifically identified by Union County as parcel number 05066-139. Okay, I'd like to let it be known to you guys, that y'all are the ones requesting the variance, that you do have the right. There's 3 board members here tonight. We normally have 5 regular board members and 2 alternates. It's upon your decision whether you want to hear it with just us 3, or would you rather have a continuance when the rest of the board members are here?
I'd like this.
Would you come up, please, to the mic, just so we can hear you?
Hi, my name is Jack Giblin, and I'd like the 3 board members here to hear the.
Okay, that's fine.
case.
Okay, thank you. All right. Well, so Mr. King, is the petition complete?
It is.
Okay. Would you present it to us, please? Well, do I hear a motion that we hear the petition tonight, the various requests? Do I hear a motion, we hear it?
I'll second it.
Okay, all right, that approved, Mr. King? Let me get my cheat sheet over here. Do you swear, is all the ones that are gonna be giving evidence, would y'all come forward? Are y'all gonna be testifying and giving evidence?
With the code, let's do one.
We'll just do it one at a time then, if you want to. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter at hand?
I do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter at hand?
I do.
All right, thank you. Mr. King?
Yes, sir. As stated before, this is a variance request. The property is located at 6900 Live Oak Lane. The owner and applicant is Mr. Jack Giblin. And please excuse me, I'm kind of losing my voice here. I'll do the best I can. So what they're requesting is they're requesting a 5-foot variance to allow an addition to encroach into the side yard setback. Property is zoned RA40. It's a 40-foot front, 15-foot side yards, and a 40-foot rear. The applicant came into our office, explained to us that they would like to increase the size of their master bedroom. That currently, they have a master bedroom and a closet side by side, and they're both the same size. And so what they were wanting to do, I believe that they were like maybe 5 by 9 in size. What they were wanting to do is to combine them together to make a larger master bedroom. And that they were wanting to add a closet to the house, and that would be the addition. Basically, they're looking at a 12 by 10 closet to add. He explained that they were wanting to add it to the back of the house, but there were some limiting factors there. So the only place that they could foreseeably put it would be on the side of the house. And the house is 20 foot off the property line. So he provided some elevations here to kind of give what you'll see from the front and from the rear of the home. The top elevation will be your front elevation, looking at it from the street. And then on the bottom there would be your rear elevation, looking towards the street. Here's an aerial view of the property. The house is shifted towards that left side property line more so than the right side to accommodate the parking pad for the driveway and the garage. So the property is zoned RA40, and all the properties around it are also zoned RA40. Our land use plan calls for this to be low-density residential and agricultural uses. This area of the county is fairly developed, and that's what it shows on our development status. And as far as environmental features, it looked like at one time there was some wetlands on the adjacent property. I would speculate that when they did the subdivision, they mitigated with the state and filled the wetlands in and made that into a buildable lot. With that, that is my presentation. The applicant is present.
Will you back up to that one?
Which one?
That last one you just had? Okay, where is this in reference to the school, the elementary school?
I'll let the applicant speak to that. He's more familiar with the area than I am. I don't want to mislead you.
Hi. So,
State your name, please.
Jack Giblin,
Okay.
and are you referring to Waxhaw Elementary School? So, Waxhaw Elementary School is on Old Providence Road, which becomes Old Waxhaw Monroe Road. And if you continue on toward Monroe, you would make a right onto Providence Road South. and
Okay,
go.
Is that the road that goes down towards yours?
Yes, Providence Road.
I
So,
was just trying to
yeah.
get in my head where it was.
yeah, so
Okay.
that's the area that we're in.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
Unless y'all have any further questions of me.
we good? All right, sir, would you like to present your evidence?
Thank you for, I realized after it started, we were the only case, and I appreciate you, everybody coming out tonight. Little background myself, I've worked in the building industry as an electrical contractor, and now I'm employed by the county as an electrical inspector. So I've been building code enforcement. Mr. King was very good with explaining how the whole system worked. So this is my first time, so I apologize if I'm stumbling through. So as Mr. King explained, the hardship is that right behind the house, there's a septic tank. And what we're wanting to do is, we have a very small bathroom, and we were wanting to take the bathroom and combine it with the closet size to make a larger bathroom. And then the addition would be a closet on the side of the house. So where our bedroom is located, in the back left corner of the house, there's really nowhere else to go in order to build a closet and therefore make a larger bathroom. So if there was another way we could do this, I would definitely do it. But so we're asking for the minimum amount that we would be able to do this with. So the reason we're only going for asking for 12 feet is that's from the corner of the house to, I have a heat pump package unit, so that would inhibit me there. And so if I just came out 10 feet from the side of the house, it'd give us a good sized closet. It's not out of character for our neighborhood to have that type of a set out like that. All the houses are different in our neighborhood. They were all built pretty much by different builders. All the lots were sold by Homestead Land and Timber back in 1995, and everybody was pretty much got their own builder, so it wouldn't be out of character to add on or not add on the side of a house.
Okay, one quick question.
Yes, sir.
We had one of your diagrams here, I'm just looking for it, I didn't see it, I guess I misplaced it. Where your septic is right behind your master bedroom.
Yes, sir.
The septic tank line coming out of the house going to that tank looks like it might be closer to the outside of the house than it is to the middle of the house. So, and I understand your point of what you want to do, but would it be possible to put a door out the back of the bedroom to go into a closet? Is the septic tank, what I'm trying to
Oh, I
do is
understand.
justify putting it on the side rather than going at the back.
Yes, sir, I understand, and it's a good question. So I believe we need 5 feet away from the septic tank, is that,
I'm not real sure that's environmental health.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I'm fairly certain 5 feet is the number you need
Okay.
to stay away. So the septic tank is actually centered on our bedroom right now.
Okay,
So there's really nowhere to go either way if you
Okay.
went out the back.
that's good enough. I understand. The way this is drawn here, it looks like the line is shown a little bit to the outside, which looks like it might have left enough room to come out behind it, but I see your justification there.
So to summarize, I'm only looking for the minimum amount necessary to be able to do the project.
And you are asking just for that one area?
Yes,
Not
sir.
the entire length of the house, but just the area?
Correct.
Okay,
I'm looking for 12 feet by 5 feet encroachment on the setback.
Yeah, but what's the size of the closet?
That would be the closet. The closet would be
12?
10 feet by 12 feet.
Okay, there you
Yes, sir.
10
So,
feet by 12 feet.
yes, because I can go 5 feet up to the setback line, and then the additional 5 feet would create the 10 feet, and then it would be 12 front to back.
So the bottom line, the affected area that you want is 10 foot by 5 foot beyond the line, or beyond the setback.
12 feet
12
long by 5
Mm-hmm.
feet into the setback,
12 by 5.
12 by 5.
Well, I know that, but his first 10 feet is already legal.
No.
First 5 feet,
Or 5 feet, I'm sorry, the first
First
5 feet is, so he's only asking for 5 by 12
Yes.
included.
Yes.
Okay.
So he gets 5 by 12 legal, 5 by 12 he's asking for.
Right.
Yes.
yes, sir, that's correct. I don't have anything else to add unless anybody has any questions.
Well, let's talk about your pictures a little bit.
Sure.
Are all these homes on the pictures in your development?
Oh, yes.
And were all the adjoining neighbors notified of this?
Yes, sir.
And none of them seem to have a problem in? Okay.
Now, where the heat pump is that the side that you'll be going to?
Yes, sir. The heat pump will be is on the left side, right about in the middle.
Okay.
But now the heat pump doesn't have to, okay, well, the heat pump go on the other side of the closet.
The heat pump is going to be right in front of the closet as you're
Okay, so
looking at it from the
heat
road.
pump will stay exactly
Yes,
where it's
sir.
at.
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
And I think you stated the neighboring property owner, his house is like 40 feet off the property line?
Yes.
Okay.
Have you spoken to the neighboring property owner about this?
Yes. Spoken to all the neighbors around, and I was going to have them sign papers, but I found out that was hearsay evidence. So everybody said that, you know, they're fine with it, but nobody could make it tonight, so.
I understand. Okay.
Well, they had the opportunity to come if they had a problem with it, though.
Yes, sir. Mhm.
Okay.
Mr. King, he's got each one of these pictures listed as exhibits. Do these need to be listed as such, or do we need these to go in to the file as exhibits?
That is just for the application itself. That would not be part of the decision.
Okay, so,
Decision letter.
okay.
So, in other words, we're probably gonna have to fill a little bit of words in here on each one of them, correct?
Well, the applicant could introduce his application as an exhibit. You can accept it as an exhibit.
No, he's talking about the finding of facts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you meant photos and.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I was wondering, because since we can't use these as the findings of facts, they don't actually need to be listed as exhibits for the decision we're gonna make, like we normally do as far as exhibit A, exhibit B.
No, yes. You're gonna have to do a little articulation to fill in your findings of fact.
Okay.
But if you look to what he submitted, the exhibit A,
Uh-huh.
I think you can work through that as a start.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add?
No, sir, but I'm happy to answer any questions about the photographs. Some of the photographs were as I was standing on my property and the point of view, what the other neighbors would see.
Okay.
I think the most relevant one is the one that shows the area there where your heating unit was and all.
Does anyone have any questions for that? Mark, you good with it?
Yeah.
All right, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, so we have now concluded the portion of the cases that pertains to the presentation of evidence. The board shall now proceed to the discussion and decision portion of the case. Interested parties are not permitted to address the board during this portion of today's meeting. However, everyone is permitted to remain present and listen quietly. In order to receive a written copy of the decision, any aggrieved party may file a written request for a copy of the board's decision and the board's clerk or chairperson at today's hearing of the case. We'd like to ask you to fill out the little green slip because you were presenting testimony. Okay.
All right, now, do we need to close the hearing to go into deliberation?
That's
Or
what I just
close-
did. I just closed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if we need to vote on it or not. Good deal.
All right, fellas, let's look at the findings of facts. Let's see where we're at. Okay, findings of facts. No variance may be approved by the Board of Adjustment unless it makes all of the following findings. The strict application of the ordinance will result in an unnecessary hardship, but it is not necessary to conclude that strict application will prevent any reasonable use of the property.
Well, I would say that with the location of the septic tank, that it already prohibits you from going around that way, that it's not really gonna make a difference,
Okay. So
one way or the other.
So the location of the septic system requires this addition to be on the side of the house?
Yes.
Does that sound acceptable, Mr. Thurman?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor of saying that this is good and, okay, we'll prevent, okay. All in favor saying that number one is good? Okay. All right, now, the hardship of is unique to the subject property rather than common to neighboring properties or to the general public. All right, the location of the house had to be in this position in order for the driveway to be on the other side. Is that acceptable?
Yeah, I think the septic probably comes in again.
Yeah.
On this item.
And then the placement of the driveway caused the house to be moved to the left-hand side of the lot for traffic flow. Okay, so placement of the driveway required house to be left on the lot. Is that acceptable?
Yes.
Okay, all in favor of? Yeah, okay, yes, and the septic requires location on the side of the house. Is that good? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, the hardship relates to conditions peculiar to the subject property. The location, the size, the shape, the topography, rather than personal circumstances of the applicant or owner of the subject property.
Yes, definitely what we just said earlier, between the septic tank and the driveway, creating the house to be pushed to that side, yes.
Okay. So we'll be using the explanation the same as number two then, the septic system and the drive.
Yep.
Something you might want to know, or might want to consider, is they're increasing the value of their home.
Okay.
They didn't place the home where it's placed on the property line. You know, those are things that, you know, I know it seems like this is maybe a variance for convenience, but convenience is in the eyes of the beholder.
That's right.
And so you might want to
Well,
consider.
also you have to take into consideration the different levels of homes in that one place. And it's unfair to hold one person back when the neighbors already had an opportunity and it was basically the builder's fault for not doing it.
It's a good idea, Mark.
Good points.
So the financial aspect of it, because of the increase in value, is also there. Okay. Findings of fact number 3, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay. Number 4, the hardship is not the result of actions taken by the applicant or subject property owner, although the act of purchasing property knowing that a variance may be needed or required does not constitute a self-created hardship. Okay, I would agree with Mark on this one too, is the builder placed the structure on the lot of the location which is requiring this to be done. Is that
Correct.
good? Okay, the builder placed the structure in this location, which is requiring a variance for addition. Is that acceptable? Okay, for findings of fact number 4, all in agreeance?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, all right. Going to number 5. By granting the variance, the spirit of this ordinance will be observed, public safety and welfare will be secured, and substantial justice will be done.
Well, there's definitely no evidence that it would be a safety issue. And there's been nobody against it. And
I think the other house being so 40-something feet away, not like being in one of these neighborhoods where everybody's 20 feet apart.
correct.
So
It's a good point,
you're
Bill.
not gonna have the type of situation where we're increasing it or decreasing it to 15 feet between houses. Because even at 20, public safety issues with fires is something, but he says in here it's 40 feet to the next house, so there's no indication that it's gonna cause any kind of safety issue with that type of thing.
Okay. So there's no evidence of a safety issue, and so the placement of the adjacent house on the property is not creating any issues. How'd be a good way to word that? Or do you think that, Mr. Thurman, will that need to be brought in as far as the placement of the house on the adjoining property being 40 feet away?
I think it's relevant to the safety issue. Yeah.
Relevant to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. I think it would be. Okay. Let's see if I can figure out how to write this. Okay, placement of adjacent houses 40 feet away, not hampering safety issues on this property, on either property.
It makes sense to include your observation that there are no objections.
It's Good idea. And no objections from any adjacent property owners. Okay, so no objection of neighboring property owners. Does that sound good on this? Bill, are you good with those?
Yes, sir.
Mark?
Yep.
All right, all in favor? Say aye. All right, with all the 5 findings of facts approved, it will be approved then.
Let's have a motion.
I need a motion, you want me to make a motion for you?
Yeah, make a motion.
I make a motion, we approve a 5-foot by 12-foot variance to accommodate the structure of a 10 by 12-foot closet on the affected area
Okay.
only.
Is that good, Mr. Thurman?
That works.
Tony? Is that good with you?
I'll second.
Amy, is that good with you? Okay. So all in favor?
Aye.
Now you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your patience. Good luck with your addition.
Thank you.
All right, do we have any other business that we need to carry on with tonight, Mr. King?
Jim, where do we stand on a new board member? Do you know?
That's a good question. Lynn West, the clerk to the Board of Commissioners, was to go back and review her minutes. Amy was explaining that she believed that they had put it on the consent agenda and the board voted, one, to bring Mr. Britt on as a voting member, regular member, and two, a lady or gentleman by the name of Francis to fill the vacant alternate position. She was going to go through the minutes and then get back with us to give us confirmation whether or not that was done.
The reason I ask is we probably need to get a training scheduled in the next few months, but I'd rather wait until after we have a new member, so at least one person's not hearing the same spiel. We have someone learning something new.
And so, of course, in April, we'll have elections again. Hopefully, so we'll have a full board by that time.
Well, my membership's up, so I reapplied, last week? So,
And Jennifer's position is up in April. So if Mr. Brett is appointed to her position, then he would need to reapply as well. Now, yes, okay. So bringing us into cases, we will not have March Board of Adjustment. We will have a Board of Adjustment in April. This one's going to be kind of tricky because it's one property and they're asking for a special use permit. They're also asking for a variance. So it's going to be 2 separate cases. Of course, with a special use permit, a lot of times staff makes recommendations. But what they're asking for the variance for is what staff would be recommending. So what do you feel would be the most appropriate? What would it be appropriate? Because what they're doing is they're wanting to expand an existing use that previously had a special use permit. So with that being said, I almost feel it's more appropriate to have the variance first. So it kind of throws out the staff's recommendations when it gets to the special use permit.
That makes sense. The sooner you could get that application to me,
Okay.
the better, and then maybe we can talk a little bit. Yeah, so noodle. We got a couple of months, I know, but you know.
Yeah, so-
Excuse me just a minute. You folks are welcome to leave if you'd like. I
Okay,
apologize.
sorry.
I apologize.
That's okay. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, sir. Good luck with your addition.
You want to bring the sign back?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, thanks. He works over there. He works for Mark Griffin.
Okay.
And so he's one of the county's electrical inspectors. So I've been so busy, I tell you what, let me turn the recording off.
All right, we need to, George,
Closing
anything,
meeting.
any other business we need? Okay, do I hear a motion? We adjourn the meeting?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Bill, you in favor?